Hello and welcome to Will It Roll. We've got 3 more cars for you today. Up first we have the Aston Martin DBS. This one was suggested by Air Commander 12, I think I remembered that correctly, who said we should roll it like it was rolled in the film Casino Royale. My game tag is Casino Royale as it happens, and I sort of like the idea of trying to emulate a movie stunt a bit slightly differently because I'm using a curb rather than a hill. But anyway, yes, we have a DBS here. It's got sort of 500 odd horsepower, weighs quite a lot, 3,700 pounds. It is more of a Grand Tourer than it is a sports car. The pros are, well, just look at it and listen to it. It's a fantastic looking car, great sounding car. Not the fastest, but it's a brilliant Grand Tourer. The cons, not many. It is kind of expensive at 250,000 credits, but it's a fantastic car. I really like it. Anyway, as far as rolling it goes, it's kind of a strange one, this one. It is quite wide, it's quite long, it is quite low, but it has a lot of speed to it, which is kind of advantageous for doing this. So you can attack the curbs quite a lot, or in my case there, completely miss them. Don't do that, that's bad for trying to get it to roll. But yeah, it goes on 2 wheels relatively easily. I say relatively easily. It will go on 2 wheels if you attack the curbs, as you see here again. You know, it's sort of 2 wheels, and I do a nice sort of power slidey drifty bit. However, actually getting it to roll is really quite tricky. It doesn't help the fact that this car is so very fast. It's not a supercar, but as you can see there, it's not also the best handling car in the world, but it does go quite quickly, and it will get around the corner flat out normally, but when you get on 2 wheels you sort of lose steering, and that means that it often sort of is on 2 wheels and heading towards a wall, and it spends quite a lot of its time sort of being hit against. You see there, it's on 2 wheels, it's sort of thinking about going over, and then it kind of gets to the corner and it's sort of running out of space. We had a similar problem with the Porsche LMP car, except for that once that hits the ground you've suddenly got loads of grip because it's a racing car. When this hits the ground it's still a Grand Tourer and you don't have huge amounts of grip, which means that it was very difficult to roll sort of standard. I should have pointed out this is standard at the moment. I am pretty convinced that this probably would roll standard eventually. You see me there smacking into the wall. It was getting on 2 wheels. It kept looking like it was going to go over, but it never did. It was that point that I kind of got fed up. It was quite a long time I spent trying to roll this blooming thing. So it had to go to the upgrade shop, and it has upgraded suspension. I only raised the ride height. That's all I did on this car, because I was figuring it was close enough to rolling as it is. And there we go. That was my 2nd run with it, I think. Oh, we're so close to rolling over. The observant among you would have noticed the Aston Martin has changed colour slightly, because this was one I had in my garage to modify it with, to like put the parts on, and I didn't realise they were slightly different colourings. So yes, it changes colour midway through the video, but never mind. And there we go. Managed to get the Aston Martin to roll. Not the most spectacular. I was thinking it might do a front flip there, but nope. Not the most spectacular roll we've had so far. This is a very tricky car, actually, to get it to roll over. But yeah, there we go. That is the first of our cars. It's just going to sit there on its roof. I may have knocked the stick slightly, so it kind of twitched. But never mind. Up next, oh, I do hate this car. Not because of what it is, just trying to roll it. This is a Chevrolet stock car. This was suggested by quite a few people. What is it? 825 horsepower. It's got a fantastic engine. I do like the engine of these. 825 horsepower, 650 torques. Weighs 3,400 pounds. It's quite heavy. But this isn't a circuit car, this is purely built for ovals. The pros of this car, well, it goes around ovals very well, not that we're going around ovals at the moment, and the engine, I like the engine in these, they're fantastic engines. The cons are, well, it goes around corners better than I was expecting, but it's still terrible at them. It was really not that good around the corners, but it did get around them sort of not quite as badly as I was expecting. It's not road legal, it's a race car. It's also not that much visibility from inside the cockpit view. You've got all sorts of roll cages and bars across the windscreen and yeah, all of that sort of thing. Now the reason why I hate this car is this one has taken the longest out of anything here to film for. Basically it was very similar to the Aston Martin in that it was very fast, but didn't have a huge amount of control, and because it was even more powerful it's even faster, and there was maybe a fraction more grip. And basically this is what happened. It goes on 2 wheels pretty well, but it just does not fall over, and of course if you attack the curb from this way you're going so fast that it's very hard to make the corner, as you will see now as I'm trying to get it slowed down and it goes straight into the wall. I'm trying to avoid sort of throwing it into the wall multiple times because it kind of ends up looking crappy on the video. But yeah, this thing is so hard to roll. It goes on 2 wheels and it keeps looking like there. It keeps looking like, oh, it might go over, but it just doesn't. And now I've got the roof flaps going and everything. But yeah, I'm not quite sure why. I mean, it's not the widest car we've had. I suspect the LMP car's wider. It is quite long, I think it's just the sort of the combination of everything that makes this car a right pain. This is standard at the moment. And again, I kind of flung it in a wall there. So as at this point, it was time for some upgrading. And well, it didn't need any upgrading because it has all the parts of a race car. It was time for some tuning. And so the suspension, the ride height was raised and stiffened and stuff. And that was the first run, I think, with it. And now it's looking more like it. Again, I'm pretty sure this car standard would roll with enough time. I'm just trying to do this, keeping these cars as standard, or keeping them like as standard for as long as possible. I'm pretty sure this would roll eventually. It was just taking so long. And then this is the second run, I think, and there we go. It's almost a carbon copy of the Aston Martin's roll there. I was trying to flick it back over because I was hoping to do a sort of a better roll with it because that wasn't particularly spectacular, but then I realised what time it was. It took me most of an evening to do this because of that stupid stock car and the and the Aston Martin. Our final car, this is another one of the most requested cars of all. We go from two mental cars, well, one mental car and an Aston Martin, to something a little bit more simple. This is a Volkswagen Beetle. It's got 40 horsepower, which is about as much as a lawnmower. Weighs 1,700 pounds, so it's the lightest car we've had, and it's one of very few air-cooled engines, which isn't a good thing. The pros for this car, I honestly cannot think of any good things about a Beetle. Not really. The cons are the engine's horrible, there's no power, it's noisy, it doesn't handle very well, the brakes aren't very good. It's also quite expensive. 15,000 credits is an awful lot of money for, well, this. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the Beetle. I really don't like them. It's a horrible car. So I was going to try to see if I could do this one standard and, well, have a guess what happens. You go around a corner and there's no speed and it just sort of drives over a curb. Not particularly exciting. I think this is like 53 miles an hour through here, maybe a little bit more on this from coming from this angle. God dear. I can't speak today as normal. But yeah, sort of driving this way, you know, it's 50 miles an hour and nothing happens. So it was time for some upgrades. I was expecting to have to put sort of, you know, like the Golf R engine in it, maybe some twin turbos as well as a normal suspension and stuff. But this is just with raised ride height and stiffened suspension and slight camber, quite big camber actually, on the wheels. And there we go! The Beetle rolled. And that was the slowest roll of any car we've ever had here. It's just a stupid sight, this one. I can't believe this thing rolled as well. But there we go. That is the Volkswagen Beetle rolling. That was my first attempt with the modifications as well. So we're going to go for a super slow-mo. That is it for this video, guys, so thank you very much for watching. As ever, if you have cars that you want to see us roll, then please do leave them in the comment section. I am saving the killing or sort of payback for the price for something very special we have planned, so don't worry. We will get revenge on the price, it just won't be in a will it roll video. We may roll the price at some point later on, but yeah, we're saving the payback for something special that we have planned. But anyway, yeah, that is it for this video, guys, so thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.